Listen, the first time someone gets, what's the word, accosted, like, mugged out in front of their house on Lacanau Drive, or if some highfalutin, high society person, gets mixed up with the wrong people, or someone's 18-year-old child living on the South Side dies of a cocaine overdose or crack or gets beaten up by, that's what gets attention in this town.
But that's happened already, Glenn.
Well, has it? It has.
Yes, it has.
Well, give us the scoop.
Well, there's no scoop. That's incident.
So then why don't we react to it? I mean, if we can, penetrate the six-figure incomes around here.
What? Because they're worried about raising the tax rate. Even though they've got all this money coming in, then they want to spend it on it. They want to spend $200,000 on a clock that only really costs $10,000.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that clock is still...
It's a little game they like to play.
Can we just clean that clock once and for all, please?
Well, all I can tell you is the guy that's proposed to fix the clocks, once they give him the okay, it'll be done in short order.
In a New York minute.
That big of a deal.
Well, I can't wait.
New York minute, but but there again, like somebody said, who's looking at the time when you're driving through the...
Like somebody said, that's what you said. Like somebody said.
No, people were talking about that. They said, that's not number one priority on their list.
Well, it would be nice.
Priority on their list is worrying about their elderly mother walking down the street and being accosted.
Tough man, you know darn well why Jeff Graham introduced this whole clock thing, because he knew Tim LaBeouf was going to run for mayor.
Is that really, do you think?
Yes, of course. Listen, he's been mayor for over 42 years. Did he ever even bring up the clock once in conversation? Never.
Not that I ever heard
of. Never. All of a sudden, Tim LaBeouf, he's going to throw... Listen, if that clock was on top of AMCO 4 years ago, he would have brought it up then. That's all there is to it. And I'm sorry for dragging you into this, Paul, but I just did. It's the truth.
Paul lives outside the city.
I know, and thank God for Paul. He doesn't have to deal with this nonsense anymore.
Well, he does, because he has the businesses in town.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I hear you.
I'm just saying that Jeff Graham definitely, it's his ulterior motive. You can pull the wool over someone else's eyes, but you can't pull the wool over mine.
Well, this is something that I'm a strong believer in, but I believe that, on the national level, state level, and the local level, a thing like the clock takes your mind off of what the real issues, which are the... Yeah,
it's like acupuncture. Like your leg is hanging off, you're dying of pain. Put some needles in your eyes. You'll feel better.
Yeah, not fixing the tennis courts, kind of stuff like that people are really concerned.
Who the hell plays tennis around here? I was on the north side. They have 3 beautiful tennis courts on the north side. What is that, Ohio School or something? And
North Elementary.
Right. And, beautiful course. It looks like they've just been, resurfaced and so forth not too long ago. There's nobody on those courts.
A lot of people play tennis. I can name 5 people listening to your show that play tennis.
All right, wait, hold up. But anyway, I'm glad you brought up these topics. I'm glad we talked about the clock, because the clock is definitely not a priority list. It's just a means of... It's just politics as usual. And you know what? Jeff's a good guy and so forth. Tim LaBeouf, once again, according to Q, is getting national attention. Next thing you know, who knows? Maybe Savannah Sampson might run for mayor. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, she loves Reverend Bob. I'm sure she'll love Tim LaBeouf. There's only one person who knows what I just said. Thank you, Duffman.
Later.
Talk to you in a bit. Yes, Savannah Sampson. I don't know her real name, and it's not my business to say her real name, but she's a native of this region. She's a lovely 39-year-old adult star. And apparently she made a movie, and she liked the guy. Oh, forget it. 755-1240. 755-1240 is the number. If you want to give me a shout, we'd love to hear from you. Remember, this is the Kinney Drugs Universal and Dish Paddock Arcade live at 5 Let's turn off the phone, please. Hi, you there? Yes.
Hey, I'm not a supporter of Mr. LaBeouf. I'm more of a supporter of anybody else.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to, for Graham and Clough, I booked them at some Falcons Crest trade shows. So I figure they can compete with them, you know what I mean? And plus Lorenzo Lamas, or what's his name, Lorenzo Lamas? Yeah, he's got more of that metrosexual street cred to compete with Tim. He's got a lot more.
Okay, so you're saying that you would vote for anyone other than Tim LaBeouf. I don't know what the reference to Lorenzo Lamas meant, but you just don't like Tim LaBeouf. Why is that? Explain yourself.
What's that?
Why won't you endorse Tim LaBeouf?
He's a complete fraud.
All right.
Okay?
Other than that.
Fraud. He's a thief. He's a wimp. First of all, he went to Holy Family.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Catholic. He's not a Baptist. Okay?
Right.
He couldn't even handle it. You got to be, if you get in a Catholic seminary, you got to be literate. Okay? There's another requirement since the 60s, since the Lavender Mafia took over, and I'm sure he complies with that one. But he's not literate. Okay? So he went to the Al Sharpton School and pay somebody $75, and you wake up and you're a reverend. And
a reverend?
It's a joke. It's a joke, okay?
Oh, I got you.
Don't, because you don't decide, you don't quit being Catholic. You get baptized in the baptismal font, and you go out in a pine box. The only time you trade in your dues is when your last breath they send you to the basement, and then you get your dues back. The whole thing's a complete.
No wonder he dropped his
Catholicism. I just can't believe more people aren't as outraged as me. That's my frustration.
Well, all right. Obviously, you have some, inside grievances against Tim LaBeouf, and we really can't get into that. But wow, you really know your Catholic Church, though. What is this whole thing about? You? In other words, when you leave this earth, you're going to be buried in a pine box because you're Catholic, and that's the best you could do.
It's the mafia. It's like the mafia. Once you're in, it's over. You don't say, "Oh, I'm going to do something else. I think I'll be a Baptist, and I'll steal all Mary Lambert stuff.
You took an oath.
I'll run for city council, and I mean, okay. You're really religious? Be a minister." What do you do? I mean, I'm doing city council. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
What's the difference between? What's the difference between a minister and a reverend?
They're both frauds. You're Catholic priest, or get married and have kids and get a job.
So there's no chance you're voting for Reverend Tim LaBeouf.
What a joke. Thanks.
By the way, do you work with Jeff? No, just kidding.
What's that?
Do you work with Jeff?
Jeff who?
Jeff Graham.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, and I like Clough. He's all right. Anybody. I vote for my dog over this fraud.
Have you called the Live at 5 show before?
Oh, hey, can I tell you something else?
Yeah, bye.
No, I'll save it.
No, come on.
I'm done. I'll call you back.
All right, man. Well, there you go. Someone is mad as hell. He's not going to take it anymore. And we got to slip into a break, and we're going to do that right now. We're going to hear from our friends at First Class Auto Glass at Paddock Arcade and Homestead Quality Homes. This is the Live at 5 show. It's 26 minutes after the hour. We'll be back. You know, there's several key